Hello folks, here we are back at the Fairy Village Woods, just for another, hopefully a quick video this time. Well, we see the first one I did this morning is still going on to YouTube. For some reason everything's going incredibly slowly today on that. Yeah, first few times I tried to do it, it failed. So, okay, yeah, okay. So trying the first time, it's taking ages to do. Oh, it's taking probably at least twice as long as it would normally take. So, a bit annoying. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean, look. I said at the end of the last video, down at the Stinky Woods, that, if God said to me, would you stand on all that again, would you? I said it here as well. So, it's a message I've shared on a number of times. The answer is yes. Even if I knew it wouldn't happen, the answer is yes. Now, that's a different thing to normal things that I stand on, because I imagine certainly since September, there's probably been about 30 things I've stood on, minor things, not major ones. There's been one major one, well, two major ones really. Two major ones and mostly little minor things. So far, it's about 29-0. That's the reality. At least that's what it looks like right now. So yeah, if it's 29-0, then that's not good. No. However, it is very much a case that I've said before, if you were told that you would have 30-1 ratio on the things you're standing on, that 30 wouldn't happen, one would. Would you take that? As soon as most people in the church never even had the one. Never had the one. They've been walking for 20, 30, 40 years and they've never had one example of God doing anything in their life. Not one. It's a problem. Most people who believe have never experienced a miracle. Never experienced a healing, not only within their lives, but also have witnessed it. Most people have never experienced anything of God, really. No. So, walking out and believing in that God said and standing on that, little things as well as big. Would you be prepared to do that if you knew that you'd have to stand 30 times to get the one? Would you do it? It ain't easy, is it? Not in any way, shape or form. It ain't easy. Because I'll tell you, those 30 that end up not being right, or 29 or 30, whatever that number's going to be, they have an impact. Of course they do. Your willingness to stand is definitely there, but your likelihood to believe in what you're standing in gets diminished. And that's the reality. That all I can hear is flies buzzing around all the time. Flies, go away. What are you buzzing for? Sod off, nutters. God, noisy flies. They buzz around your head as if, what do you want me to offer you? Some jam? I'm not carrying jam, go away. Anyway, back to that point, yes. Yeah, it's complicated. It is, it's not easy. But then you feel let down by God sometimes, and that's going to happen. You do feel let down by God, but guess what? God will never let you down. Never has, never will. He can't. Because if God has actually said he's going to do something, he will. The problem is that we want God to say things. And so sometimes we stand on things that we want God to say and to say. I have a habit of asking questions all the time to Father. It's partly what relationship is about. And in learning relationship, you communicate, but that means you ask questions, and it is what it is. You ask questions, and you get answers coming back from, sometimes from God, sometimes from other areas, and you stand. You stand because that's what you're supposed to do. You stand. Yeah, if you believe it's God, you stand on it. You say, okay, I'm going to trust that that's you. Yeah, even though you know, okay, it's quite likely I'll be in this situation in a couple of days and realising it isn't. And I'm going, oh, for goodness sake, not again. You know, it is what it is. But that's the thing. In the end, it's about learning. You're learning relationships. You're learning to be able to hear God, which, you know, generally speaking, yeah, it's not an easy thing to do in a noisy world. Even now, I'm walking around here, and all I've got is flies buzzing around my head. All I can hear is flies. Chances of me hearing God is slim when all I can hear is bloody flies buzzing around my head. Flies, go away. What do you need is fly spray. Fly spray, you'd all be dead. So sod off. Can't even hear yourself bloody think with flies buzzing around your head. Pain in the arse. I understand how cows feel now. Of course, they're in these areas and those areas because there's probably been cows in the field, so there's cow poo, there's dog poo in these areas, so, you know, and then go to that. Idiots. Go to that. Stop pestering me. Dozy flies. I know you've got tiny little brains, but stop proving it. Yeah? Dozy things. These are new houses. Alright. Anyway, so yeah, that's that subject. And as I say, yeah, it is a case where it's worth that. If that's going to be your rota, 30 zeros for each one that ticks on the positive, that God has done, that you believe right, go for that. It's better than having a 0 with 0 than never trying. You've got to stand. But when you stand, it is a case that, if you start to stand on things, if you start to believe that God is going to do nice things and stuff like that, well then you've got to be willing to fall. Because that's going to happen. It is. Unless you're just incredibly fortunate where you just learn to hear God straight away, which might be the case. Yeah, that may very well be the case. And if that's the case, please come and tell me how. Yeah, I'd love some of that. Please bring that, yeah. Yeah. Right, second point, second subject, I suppose. Second thing that was on my mind. I said earlier that I'm quite firm in belief. And one thing I'm firm in belief of is I do not waste time. So if I'm asked by God or asked by somebody to help them, I'm not going to play games. I think I've shared before when I helped the lady in Bournemouth who had gone through horrendous stuff. And, I made sure she was ready, absolutely ready. I wouldn't pray for her until she was sure in herself that she was ready. She was ready to let it go, all of it. And when she was, it was simply a case of directing her to God and saying, okay, go for it. No mucking around. I didn't bother asking her too many questions about it because it was none of my business. It really was God's business and God to deal with it. And he did. He dealt with it in an incredible manner. I think within probably 40 minutes, all the stuff she'd gone through, gone. She was addicted to all sorts of drugs, prescription drugs and non-prescription, alcohol. She had so many issues with her body. And yet after 40 minutes, all dealt with. Whole lot dealt with, sorted, gone. All the agony from the past, gone. That to me is the way to do things. No need to muck around. I don't care about your feelings at all. The reason why I don't care about your feelings is because it's up to God to deal with that. If God wants me to say something, I'm going to say it. If you get offended, then you get offended. That's not my concern. How you deal with the offence is between you and God. You know, I don't care. Not in any way, shape or form. I don't. No. Imagine you can pick up the noise of these flies as well. Why? They're quite pesty. Go away. I don't think they're normal flies, these are. Yeah, I don't know what they are, but okay. Hopefully they will start to start off in a minute. Yeah. Fly is pregnant. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah, it very much is a case where if you get offended, that's between you and God. Because if you do actually get offended, it's because I've said something that's hit a nerve. Yeah, if it hasn't hit a nerve with you, you'll never get offended by it. You'll just see whatever's said as ridiculous. Because when someone says something ridiculous that isn't even close to the truth, what do people do? They laugh about it. So if you get offended, then I know I've hit a nerve. So am I going to back off? No. No, I'm going to leave that to God. If God is telling me to push forwards, I will push forwards. I will certainly not back off of that, because the whole point is, if I've hit a nerve, then that's good. You might see it as bad, but I don't. And from a point of view of a counsellor, when you hit a nerve, then that's good, because it means you're getting somewhere. Now, to me, I want to get somewhere quickly, because if it's all about relationship, if it's all about relationship with Father, how much more time do you want to delay you having that relationship with Father? You want to delay it for another 6 months, maybe? You want to take 6 months to deal with all this stuff? Or would you rather deal with it in 5 minutes? Yes, let's say 2 hours. Would you rather deal with it in 2 hours than 6 months? 6 months is gentle. Really gentle. However, 2 hours can be incredibly gentle if you allow God to do it. If you're not resisting and you're ready and you allow God to do it, stuff that would normally take 6 months or 6 years with a counsellor can be dealt with in 2 hours with God. And to me, yeah, how much more time do you want to keep dragging around stuff? Really? No. Oh, and yeah, it is very much a case where, yeah, don't ask the question if you don't want the answer. Say it with me. Don't ask the question if you don't want the answer. If you want to know, do I think that, whatever, if you're a married couple and you say, do I think your marriage is a good one? Because I've done videos about that, about saying if you're not pulling together, then you should separate. That if you're supposed to be together, God will still bring you together, but maybe next time you can do it pulling together. You know? In all things. Now, do I believe that? Yes. Do I believe that's from God? Yes. Because I don't believe in relationships where you're not pulling together are from God. At all. So if someone says to me, do you think my relationship is good? Yeah, unless you really want the answer, don't ask the question. Don't. Because I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah? If you ask me the question, then you're bringing me into that and you're inviting me to comment. If you don't want the harsh truth, if there is a harsh truth, if you don't want that, don't ask the question. Because I'm not a pastor. You know, I'm not going to have this softly approach that a pastor would have. That isn't me. I used to be like a bull in a china shop. I'm not quite that now, but I'm still pretty much to the point. Because I believe to the point is really what matters. I mean, Yeshua, when he spoke to the point. He didn't try to, go softly, did he? He spoke truth. If that truth offended, it offended. He then dealt with it. But he didn't try to avoid offending people. And I'm never going to do that. Never. I couldn't care less. I mean, no. There's a lot of people that won't like me because of the way I do things. There are a lot of people that won't like me because of what I've said or done in the past, and guess what? I don't care. I don't care. The people that are supposed to like me will like me, so I'm not motivated by that when I'm dealing with people. I'm not trying to get people to like me. I'm not concerned. The one relationship to me that's so important is a relationship with Father. That's it. That's the one that has my priority. That's the one that I want to actually spend more time with. Yeah. And to be honest, I mean, the videos I've done so far today, woof. Yeah, I had a kip. So after the second video, I had food. Normally, I need to kip after having food, especially if I've had a walk. Especially as I didn't kip the other day. It always has an impact. So I did, and then I woke up and I felt let down. Obviously, I felt let down by God, because there was something I believe that God was going to do today. And certainly so far it hasn't happened. Doesn't mean it won't happen, just mean it hasn't happened yet. And I felt a bit low. Yeah, and then I was thinking, well, actually, I'm feeling like I might never get there. Well, because I haven't got there yet. But with the videos I did today, that feels as if I'm a damn sight closer. Because now my understanding is very much at a point that it always has been, for Father, all about relationship. Now, did I see that a few months ago? No. But I do now. And so therefore my understanding is growing. My understanding of his nature is growing. My understanding about what is important to him is growing. If that's my understanding of what's important to him, then that will become what's important to me. And so therefore I am starting to understand what's supposed to be our nature. And so hopefully I'll start walking in that more myself. And once I start walking in that more myself, then I get to be of heaven. And then I get to be bringing that down. And I feel so much closer to it now than I ever have been. I say the videos today, beautiful. I would say I'm always disappointed when I listen back to the videos. I'm always disappointed because I always feel that there's certain stuff that I didn't need to necessarily say that. But with the last one, it started strong and it finished very strong. So that was good. Not too keen about the middle, but the start and the end were very good. So if you haven't watched the last one, just watch the start and just watch the end. I mean, to what point in the middle, I don't know, to avoid, but Well, the point of it is, again, what's going to appeal to me, even about what I say, what speaks to me, isn't necessarily what's going to speak to you. What speaks to you might be the stuff that doesn't really speak to me. But you know what? That's okay. I just have to trust, okay, Father, that stuff in the middle, I hope that was you as well. I hope you wanted that stuff there. And I hope you're going to speak to people through that. The normal stuff I say isn't what's going to speak to them, but maybe that will be. And that's it. Really, that's what matters, isn't it? Really. So So just spend time with Father. Now I know that's difficult because finding songs that speak about Father, you just got to change the lyrics a bit. When they say Son, when they say Jesus, change that Jesus to Yahweh. Well, as I say, think about it in this way: the names. I was telling someone the other day about the names, and I said, well, the name of the Lord is Yeshua. If you say that slowly, it's Yeshua. So when you say my Lord, my Saviour, and then say his name, you're saying Yeshua, which is the confirmation of that. And then with Father, his name was Yahweh. That's what he gave as his name, Yahweh. Yahweh sounds like Yah is your way. Now I think that's cool. That's so cool. I love that. But we need more songs that's mentioning Father. That's true. We do. We need more songs that's mentioning Father. Now, when I said about I love that sort of stuff, I do. I love anything like that. Anything cute. Like for my ringtone, I've got the Minions. From that, it's a Minions ringtone. That's what I've got on my phone. So if anyone rings, that comes. Because it's just so cute. I like it. Yeah, I like anything like that. So, yeah. Anyway, my point being, spend time with Father. Yeah, spend time in prayer. Spend time just in conversation. As you would speak to anyone else, speak to Father about those things. As I say, you are going to stand on things that aren't of God. They're going to be of your mind, mainly. And don't worry about it. Learn from it. Learn from it. But, be pleased that you're standing, because that's one thing. That's one thing. Most people in church have never stood. They've never stood. They stand on that one thing that they gave their life to God. That's what they stand on. They've never really stood on anything other since then. If you're doing that, you're learning. And that's all part of relationships. It's all part of building that relationship with Father. Because eventually you're going to go into, I'm hoping for myself this will be the case as well. Learn his voice and stand on only things that you hear from him. That is the hope. Can I say that that's the reality? Well, I can say that that has to be. Because if it really is about relationship with Father, if it really is about doing that, and if it's all about him having a relationship with his people, then at some point in time, it has to click. Otherwise, it isn't all about relationship, is it? So it has to click. So I believe it will, because it makes no sense otherwise. Because it can't be all about relationship if we don't then know his voice. We have to then learn his voice if it's about relationship, because certainly walking according to, we need to know his voice. We need to be led and guided. Now, obviously, when you give everything to him, if you are then of heaven, then it'd be far easier to identify that stuff. But for now, we've got to get to that point. And, we need Father's help for that, really. To be able to identify him. Now, I mean, one thing I've noticed is that if I hear something where there's more like a conversation going on, then it's not God. One thing is a certainty. Father's not going to waste words. He just isn't. He's not going to waste words for that, because there's no need. So if he's going to tell you something, he will tell you that, and then that's it. And it'll be in the simplest terms possible. That's my understanding of how Father does things. We've got a cyclist now. Oh, they're going down that way. Cool. Okay. Now, as I say, but my experience is, even things that I've actually stood on, where they've been like that, they still haven't actually worked. So, I certainly know with the mind tends to go on a bit, but have I properly identified when it's God speaking to me? No. And as I say, generally speaking, is God going to speak to you as much as you want him to? I don't know. I mean, certainly for me, because I'm not got that wife at the moment, because I haven't got that close network of people. My network is God. It's Father. That's it. That's my network. So therefore, I suppose for me, I try to get God to communicate me, or I hope God will communicate with me more than he probably will do. So that's probably why I stand on a lot of things that I don't need to stand on. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. And hopefully that way I can learn faster. Yeah. I have no idea at all. But I don't mind either way. Yeah. We've got another cyclist. Is that another cyclist, or is that what's that? There was someone going down somewhere with a helmet. Where'd that person go? I have no idea. Oh, they're there. Okay. They're riding around the car park, looks like. Yeah. Right, there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.